Hello. I received your call. You were referred by one of my students. I understand you had a question?
I am pretty new to astrology. I have only been studying for a little less than a year. I am totally confused about what the sun, moon, and ascendant represent. Can you help me with that?
Yes, I can. The best thing for you to do, study-wise, would be to take my course. It will give you a solid foundation to go forward with. But for now, I can certainly cover that with you.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you something. On a clear day, what do you see in the sky?
It shows the sun and maybe some clouds.
The light that you see in the sky is actually the sun's light reflecting on the moon. Did you know that?
Really? No, I never knew that.
Most people do not know that. Even a lot of astrologers don't know it. Knowing this, understanding it is crucial to understanding the difference between the sun and moon, and how they interact.
Why is that?
The horoscope reflects the heavens. If you are seeing the sun's light through its reflection upon the moon in the sky, the same thing happens in the horoscope. The sun's energy is shown to others through the personality, needs suggested by the sign the moon is in. The moon is the leader of behavioral needs. It is the most important psychological indicator in a human horoscope. Imagine that I'm holding a flashlight. You are holding a mirror pointing outside. The only way my light gets outside is through your mirror. Is that clear for you?
Oh yes. That is crystal clear.
Good. I could have 12 different kinds of flashlights, and you could have 12 different types of mirrors. 144 combinations could be used. That is precisely what is happening with the sun-moon blends. The sun in the horoscope has a certain kind of life energy. That energy is reflected upon the moon sign, and that is how people see the sun's energy.
And so what role does the ascendant play?
The ascendant represents the image that the sun-moon tandem presents itself through.
Can you give me an example using someone that I might know?
I can, but I want to first give you a short synopsis of each sign, because you need to know what their archetypes are by heart. Everything you do in astrology must be by heart. You have to know it. The second you quote someone from a book means that you do not understand. When you study a technique, understanding it means that you do not look in a book and quote.
Okay. I want to write this down, or no, maybe I will just make arrangements to study with you and have a head start on this part of it.
The symbols of the signs tell you a lot. Aries is the ram. There is the sense of forging ahead aggressively without caution. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and always wants to remain first. This necessarily involves a sense of assertion, an ego presence, and the sense of pushing oneself forward. Just imagine the kind of behavior it takes when someone wants to always be in the front of the line. We are talking ego importance, assertion, the exertion of force, and most importantly, the self-positioning as number one.
I used to date someone with a lot of planets in Aries, so I know what you mean. That was someone wouldn't tolerate being second to anyone or anything.
Taurus wants to keep things as they are, resisting change and maintaining the status quo. When you are driving out in the countryside, where there are farms, notice the cows. What they do is stay cool. They eat grass. They just kind of move slowly, eat and so on. This is a heavy, stolid, stubborn influence. They do the same thing the same way every day, and are tranquil, until you try to break them from that habit. Then they get testy. This is much easier to see with bulls. Well, this is the essence of Taurus. As long as things stay the same and there is no forcing out of the daily status quo, all is well.
It could be boring to be with someone like that, but on the other hand, the stability could be great.
The symbol for Gemini, the twins, immediately projects the idea of duality, of more than one thing at a time. In Gemini, you are talking about cleverness, wit, diversity, and communication. Think of someone in a huge art museum going from portrait to portrait, not knowing which one to focus on. They are just all over the place like a pinball. Focus isn't the greatest. The idea is to have the freedom to be diverse. There is also the sense of being the jokester, the smart aleck, making wise and clever cracks. President Obama's moon is in Gemini, and you can see that in his personality. Remember the comments he made about having a seance where he had to apologize to Nancy Reagan, and the other one where he likened himself to someone physically challenged. He was trying to be funny, clever. That is a Gemini trait, the jokester.
I think a comedian, Roseanne, has the moon in Gemini. She is a real smart aleck.
In Cancer, you have one visual. It is the child suckling at the mother's breast. That sense of emotional security and certainty is what Cancer is all about. It is the idea of being safe, secure, having no worries. Emotional security is the name of the game, especially where the family is concerned.
That is an easy one to remember.
The Leo archetype is about ego security, being recognized, honored, and admired. Imagine the actor getting out of the limo, walking the red carpet to screaming, adoring fans. That is a best-case scenario for the Leo archetype. Where Cancer needs emotional security, the best-case scenario for Leo energy is to have the ego recognized, to receive a pat on the back, to be complimented, etc. Now, in order for this to happen, there has to be behavior to deserve it and attract it. This is why you will often see the Leo as the life of the party. Ruled by the sun, Leo needs to be the center of its people's solar system.
Crystal clear.
The Virgo energy is practical, correct, cerebral, and critical to the point of needing to be right. Although Bill Cosby is not a Virgo, his moon is there. He is a good example of this energy. He is strongly opinionated about what is wrong with people, places, and things, as you have seen from time to time in the media. We can say the same for Madonna, who also has the moon in Virgo. She will let you know when she thinks things are wrong. There is a great idealistic focus on what is wrong with people, places, and things. Waiting for the ideal is a key. It is important to also understand that there is a misunderstanding about the virgin that Virgo is likened to. It is not virginal in the sexual sense. The virginity associated with Virgo actually relates to discernment, to the idealism of choice.
Wow. That is fascinating.
In Libra, the energy is to please, to gain appreciation through social interaction, and by being charming and social. Think of the perfect host or hostess greeting you in a restaurant. As well, there is a heightened sense of balance that often typically focuses things on fairness. I like to think of Bill Clinton when it comes to the Libra archetype. He has a Libra ascendant with 4 planets there, and so the image that he projects to others is quite Libran, different from, say, President Nixon, who had a Virgo ascendant. Nixon's image was cerebral, exacting, critical.
So the Libra energy is sweet and kind. I guess that, since it is the opposite of Aries, the ego fulfillment comes from pleasing others, rather than pleasing self.
That is absolutely correct. I have a lot of fun with Scorpio in my course. Each sign has a correspondence with a certain part of the human body. Scorpio corresponds, among other things, to the sexual organs, which are always hidden from view in most normal human traffic. You never know these days, but you get my drift.
Yes. The penis and vagina are covered. Openly revealing them is unacceptable in most parts of the world.
In normal human traffic, yes. In men's public bathrooms, there is an unwritten rule. You never turn your head left or to the right. You do not look at another man, and many guys get as close to the urinal as they can so as not to reveal their packaging. It is an extremely private setting, and that is the essence of Scorpio energy. It is very private. Only select people are allowed inside, and those people have to earn the privilege. Once inside, the depth of emotional expression, like sexual organs excited, is absolutely powerful. Privacy aside, Scorpio energy is control-hungry and often needs to try and gain significance from knowing things. The energy likes to dig and dig until there is an understanding, just like a detective. The dark side of Scorpio is possessive, jealous, spiteful. Do not corner a Scorpion. The bite hurts.
My goodness. I have the moon and 3 planets in Scorpio.
Well, you can relate. Moving along, Sagittarian energy is about opinionation, freedom, and oftentimes, needing to affect thoughts. In Capricorn, think management, organizer, the person who takes hold of the situation and makes things happen. This is a very resourceful, ambitious energy capable of extremes of focus towards an end, a goal, or a purpose.
I know that well. My father has his sun and moon in Capricorn.
Aquarius is social, humanitarian, innovative, and individualistic energy. Aquarian energy is not at the top of the list where emotional expression is concerned, but when it comes to doing things for other people, Aquarius is at the top of the list. The whole water-bearer name given to Aquarius comes from its constellation. The water bearer is pouring new ideas, innovation, inspiration, and concepts into a stream of influence upon the world in the name of social progress and humanitarianism. It is better with groups than the individual. The symbol for Pisces shows two fish back-to-back swimming in opposite directions. This suggests the duality of the sign. Swimming in opposite directions in water suggests emotional confusion, the importance of finding one's way in the higher realms. The idea is that consciousness with the subconscious. Pisces is all about feeling, compassion, understanding, having sensitivities recognized, and often is about working with the intangible. There was an astrologer named Don Jacobs who did tireless work on the horoscope of Jesus Christ. That chart has the sun and moon in Pisces.
The 12-sign archetypes are easier for me to remember now.
The idea is that when the sun is in a sign, that energy expresses itself through the moon's sign. The moon kind of plays an adverbial role. For example, with the sun in Cancer and moon in Leo, the focal energy for emotional security is going to express itself in Leonian terms. The Cancer energy need to be expressed almost dramatically. If the sun is in Leo and the moon is in Cancer, the Leo energy will need to express itself emotionally.
Oh. I think I understand now. Can you still give me an example?
Sure. You know Kim Kardashian, right?
How can you not? She is famous for being famous without anyone really knowing why.
Your response says it all. Kim is a Libra with the moon in Aries. You should be able to immediately feel that and see it. Her life energy burns in terms of being social, charming, attractive, etc. And she goes about reflecting this to others assertively. Does it not appear as though she wants to be first all the time, to be noticed? And she does it in a charming way.
That is easy to see. Can you do one that involves the ascendant?
Muhammad Ali has sun in Capricorn and moon in Aquarius with a Leo ascendant. He used a social, humanitarian, uniquely fashioned personality image to get things done and make them happen. And he did this through a dramatic presentation of himself, well endowed in ego.
Got it. This has been very helpful. How do I sign up to study with you?
Just give me a call, send an email, or submit a question at newbieastrolearn.tumblr.com. I'm reasonable, and I customize courses for individuals regardless of their level or needs. My passion is with those in the formative stages of learning, because I believe that the better your foundation is, the better you will present astrology to the world. That helps astrologers. It helps astrology.